Think about every person you have ever been confused about, every situation where you could not tell if it was real or imagined, every moment you replayed in your mind, trying to figure out what it actually meant. The answer was never really in the words, it was in the body. And nobody ever taught you how to read it, because we live in a world that teaches us what attraction is supposed to feel like, but almost nothing about what it actually looks like. I am Liz Rose, a relationship expert, author, and researcher of emotional dynamics between men and women. For years, I have studied attraction, male behavior, emotional intelligence, and the patterns that bring people together or drive them apart. Today, I want to share with you what I've learned through my research, my professional experience, and the thousands of stories I've encountered throughout my journey. Body language is the language that runs underneath every conversation you have ever had. It is the system that your brain and your body use to communicate what words cannot say or will not say. In my years of studying human attraction and relational behavior, one truth keeps surfacing. When it comes to feelings and attitudes, the vast majority of communication is nonverbal. That means if you are only listening to what people say, you are missing almost the entire story. Today, I am going to walk you through all 17 signs, the ones your body already knows how to send, and the ones you have been missing in the people around you. More importantly, I am going to tell you what to do with each one when you spot it. Because reading the signal is only half the job. Knowing how to respond is what separates people who connect from people who simply wonder what happened. Stay with me, because once you learn to read this language, you cannot unlearn it, and the way you move through every room for the rest of your life will never quite be the same. Before we get into the signs, here is something you need to understand about why body language works the way it does. Your body is not lying to you. It cannot. The part of your brain that governs emotion and instinct responds faster than conscious thought. So before your date has decided whether they like you, their body has already voted. Before someone has processed whether they find you attractive, their feet have already turned toward you. The signals I am about to share with you are not performances. They are involuntary outputs of a nervous system that is trying to get closer to something it wants. And that is exactly what makes them so reliable. Sign 1. They point at you with their body. When someone is attracted to you, their torso, their knees, and their feet all turn in your direction, even in a group, even when they are talking to someone else. I call this body pointing, the unconscious orientation of the physical self toward whatever the mind finds most compelling. So the next time you are in a group setting, forget the faces. Just look at the feet. Feet do not lie. They always point toward what a person actually wants to be facing. What to do when you notice this? Mirror it. Turn your body directly toward them. This signals reciprocity without saying a single word. Sign 2. They reduce the distance. We each carry an invisible bubble of personal space. For most acquaintances, that space is maintained. But someone who is attracted to you will quietly, gradually close it. They find reasons to stand closer. They lean in when they speak. They sit at the end of the bench that puts them nearest to you. In my research on proximity and attraction, I have observed that intimate space, anything under 18 inches, is territory we guard carefully. When someone voluntarily and repeatedly enters that zone with you, it is not accidental. That is the body trying to narrow the gap between where it is and where it wants to be. What to do? Do not back away. Hold your ground or gently close the gap yourself. You are giving them confirmation without having to say a word. Sign 3. Their pupils dilate when they look at you. This is one of the most involuntary signals on the entire list. Pupil dilation is controlled by the part of your nervous system that also manages your heartbeat and your breath. When the brain encounters something desirable, the pupils expand to let in more light, more detail, more of what they want to see. What I find most fascinating about this is that people tend to rate faces with larger pupils as more attractive, And they do not even know why. They just feel it. If someone's pupils expand when they look at you, especially when the lighting has not changed, their nervous system just told you something their mouth has not said yet. What to do? Hold eye contact just a beat longer than usual. Not a stare, just a hold. That acknowledges the signal and returns it without either of you having to name it. Sign 4. They find excuses to touch you. Not in a boundary-crossing way. In the small, almost accidental way that reveals everything. A hand on your arm when they laugh. Brushing your fingers when they pass something. A touch on the shoulder while making a point. From everything I have studied about how touch operates in human bonding, the skin is the most direct pathway between two nervous systems. And when someone is attracted to you, their body begins to seek physical contact, slowly, incrementally, just testing whether the touch is welcome. These tiny touches are not accidents. They are feelers. They are the body asking, quietly, "Can I get closer?" What to do? Respond warmly. A smile, a quick touch back, continuing the conversation without retreating. You are telling their nervous system that contact is safe. Sign 5. They mirror your movements. If you lean back, they lean back. If you cross your arms, a few moments later, they might cross theirs. If you slow your speech, theirs slows too. This is the automatic, unconscious mimicry of another person's posture and behavior. Our brains literally simulate the movements of people we feel connected to. Mirroring is your body's way of saying, "I am attuned to you. I am in sync with you. I want to be like you." When you notice someone consistently echoing your physical behavior, you are watching attraction happen in real time. What to do? Test it deliberately. Change your posture and see if they follow within the next 30 to 60 seconds. If they do, you have your answer. Sign 6. Their voice changes around you, not dramatically. The shift is subtle, but it is there. In my observations of attraction and vocal behavior, I have noticed something consistent. When people are attracted to someone, their vocal pitch and pace shift. A woman's voice may drop slightly, becoming warmer. A man's voice becomes more modulated, more careful. There is also a slowing down, the same way you slow down when you want to stay inside a conversation. Pay attention to whether someone's voice sounds different with you than it does with others in the room. If the tone softens, the pace slows, the volume drops just slightly, you may have graduated from acquaintance to someone they want to linger with. What to do? Slow your own voice down. Bring your volume down slightly. You are creating a kind of sonic intimacy that separates your conversation from the rest of the room. Sign 7. They make themselves more visible to you. Watch for the person who suddenly sits up straighter when you walk in, who adjusts their hair or their clothes the moment they see you, who positions themselves where you simply cannot miss them. I think of this as self-presentation behavior, and it is entirely involuntary. When we detect the presence of someone we are attracted to, our bodies immediately begin making themselves bigger, cleaner, more visible. If someone straightens up when you enter the room, they have just told you something important without opening their mouth. What to do? Acknowledge them directly and early. A greeting, genuine eye contact, a warm smile. You are confirming that you saw them and that it mattered to you. Sign 8. They hold eye contact just a fraction longer than necessary. We look at people all the time without it meaning anything. But there is a specific quality of eye contact that is simply different. It is a hold that goes just past the socially neutral point before breaking. From everything I have studied about intimacy and gaze, people who are in love or falling in love spend significantly more time in mutual gaze than strangers or casual friends do. When someone is attracted to you, they struggle to look away. Their eyes are trying to gather information about you, to feel connected, to hold the moment just a little longer than the conversation requires. If you catch someone's gaze and there is a pause before either of you breaks contact, something is being communicated in that pause. What to do? Do not rush to look away. Let the moment land. A slow, natural break looking down, or gently to the side is far more powerful than a quick glance away. Sign 9. They laugh more around you and at things that are not that funny. Laughter is one of the most reliable attraction signals on this list, and it is probably the most underestimated. From what I have observed across years of studying bonding behavior, laughter is not just a reaction, it is a signal. It tells you that someone is in a state of openness and pleasure in your company. When someone is attracted to you, your jokes become funnier to them. Your observations become wittier. The threshold for laughter simply gets lower. You do not need to actually be funnier. You just need to be the one they want to connect with. If someone laughs easily and often in your presence, more than the material honestly warrants, that is not politeness. That is pleasure, especially if it is different from how they are with everyone else. What to do? Lean into it. Share something you find genuinely funny and watch their reaction. Real laughter in return seals the loop. Sign 10. Their face lights up when they see you. Not just a polite smile, a whole face shift. There is a specific kind of genuine smile, the kind that involves the muscles around the eyes, not just the mouth, and it cannot be voluntarily faked. When someone is truly happy, the skin around their eyes crinkles, their cheeks lift, and the change happens in under a quarter of a second. If someone's entire face changes when you walk in, not just the bottom half, but everything, their nervous system just registered your presence as a reward. What to do? Match it. Warmth returned is warmth doubled. This is how trust between two people accelerates. Sign 11. They find reasons to stay in the conversation. They are not just trying to be interesting. They are asking questions, steering the topic, adding new threads that need following. When someone is attracted to you, they are not trying to end conversations. They are trying to extend them. Every question they ask is a small rope thrown across the gap between you and them. Every new thread they introduce is an attempt to delay the moment where the connection has to stop. Watch for the person who always seems to find one more thing to say just as they are about to wrap up. It is not that they are bad at endings. It is that they are very good at wanting to stay. What to do? Give them an easy way to continue. Ask something back. Suggest continuing the conversation somewhere else. If you open the door and they walk through, you will know. Sign 12. They remember the small things you said. You mentioned your favorite coffee order 3 weeks ago, and they remember it. You said in passing that you grew up near the coast, and they bring it up later. Memory, when it comes to attraction, is a form of devotion. What I have found in my research is this: we encode information more deeply when it carries emotional weight. When someone is interested in you, their brain files what you say because information about you feels important to retain. If someone is holding on to the small, unremarkable details of your life, their brain has flagged you as significant. What to do? Acknowledge it, not with surprise, but with warmth. Saying, "You remembered that," is 4 words that make someone feel seen in a way that deepens attraction instantly. Sign 13. Their breathing changes around you. This is one of the most overlooked signals on this entire list. When the nervous system is in a state of attraction or heightened awareness, respiration changes. The breath becomes slightly shallower. Sometimes you will notice it as a small pause before they speak, a slightly faster rate of speech, or a quiet intake of breath when you make eye contact. It is the body responding to the presence of something it wants. If you notice someone's breathing shift when you are close to them, if they hold it slightly, or if it quickens, their autonomic nervous system has just given you the most honest reading it knows how to give. Slow your own breath deliberately. A calm, regulated nervous system is unconsciously contagious. You will bring them down into the connection rather than letting the moment scatter. Sign 14. They protect you physically. This is not a dramatic gesture. It is instinctive, and it is quiet. It might be a hand at the small of your back guiding you through a crowd, moving between you and traffic when you are walking together, holding a door open so you can pass through first. These are protective behaviors, and they are rooted deep in our biology. They are the body saying, I am aware of your safety. You are inside my circle of care. You do not need to be in danger for this to appear. Any small act of physical consideration, making space, guiding, shielding, is the nervous system expressing care through the body. What to do? Receive it gracefully. A thank you, a look, a small moment of acknowledgement. Dismissing these gestures sends a signal you probably do not intend to send. Sign 15. They get uncomfortable when others get close to you. Watch their body when someone else enters your personal space, when a colleague leans in, when a friend hugs you hello, if they stiffen slightly, if their eyes begin tracking the contact, if their whole body reorients toward you in that moment. What you are watching is a proximity response. The body registering that something it values is momentarily close to something else. It is not aggression, it is attention. The body is telling you who they consider important, and it is not possessiveness so much as it is emotional investment already made. What to do? Nothing dramatic. Just file it. This is the body showing you that the investment is already there, whether or not they have said a single word about it. Sign 16. They tilt their head when you speak. The head tilt is one of the most disarming and genuine signals of engagement the human body produces. It is a vulnerability display, exposing the neck, one of the most physically sensitive areas of the body, to the person in front of you. In everything I have studied about attraction and trust, the head tilt consistently appears as a signal of both deep interest and openness. When someone tilts their head as you speak, they are not just listening. They are communicating that they are open to you, that they are not guarded with you, that the words coming out of your mouth are worth turning their whole self toward. What to do? Slow down. Give them something worth leaning into, a question, a small revelation, a moment of genuine depth. They have just told you they are listening at a level most people never reach. Sign 17. They find you in the room before anything else. When they walk in, their eyes do not scan neutrally. They find you first. When they are talking to someone else, their glance crosses the room and lands on you. Not for any particular reason, just because that is where their attention naturally returns. I call this social referencing, the automatic orientation of attention toward the person who matters most in a given environment. It is the body's way of continuously checking in with what it values. If you notice that you are consistently the first place someone looks when they enter a room, or the person they keep returning to visually throughout a gathering, you are not imagining it. You are their reference point. What to do? When your eyes meet across the room, hold the moment. Do not look away first, because this is the conversation that happens before the conversation. Here is what all 17 of these signs have in common. None of them require words. None of them are performances. They are involuntary, honest, unedited outputs of a nervous system that has already made a decision, even if the person has not consciously admitted it yet. The body leads. The words follow, sometimes by days, sometimes by weeks, sometimes by years. And here is the other thing I want you to carry with you. These signals work in reverse, every single one of them. If you understand what attraction looks like in someone else's body, then you understand what you are broadcasting with your own. The way you point your body, the space you close or keep, the eye contact you hold or break, the way your face changes or does not when a certain person walks into the room. You are already having this conversation. You have been having it your whole life. The only question is whether you are now having it consciously.